The cafeteria of Intergalactic Academy Station 7 buzzed with the usual lunch hour chaos. Students from dozens of species mingled, their conversations creating a symphony of clicks, whistles, and various dialects. But in the far corner, near the waste disposal units, a different kind of gathering was taking place. Zira crouched on the floor, her violet skin flushed darker with humiliation. The Kryn girl's delicate antenna drooped as she picked at the scattered remains of her meal with trembling fingers. Above her stood 3 Vorgath students, their scaled bodies towering and intimidating, laughing as they recorded the scene on their neural implants. "That's it. Little flower," sneered Grask, the largest of the 3. "Eat up. This is where weaklings belong." The Kryn were known across the galaxy as scholars and artists, their frail bodies unsuited for conflict. Their homeworld had been a protectorate for centuries, dependent on stronger species for defense. It made them easy targets. Marcus Chen sat 3 tables away, methodically working through his protein pack while reading a datapad about Earth's admission to the Galactic Council. Humans were the newest species to achieve faster-than-light travel, and most of the Academy still viewed them with curiosity mixed with skepticism. Too aggressive for scholars, too small for warriors, too stubborn for diplomats. Humans didn't quite fit anywhere. He tried to focus on his reading, but his eyes kept drifting to the scene in the corner. The other students pretended not to notice, as they had for weeks. The unspoken rule was simple: don't interfere in species politics. The Vorgath had military contracts with half the council. The Kryn had none. Marcus watched as Grask kicked Zira's lunch tray farther away, scattering purple nutrient cubes across the grimy floor. The girl whimpered, a sound like wind chimes breaking. Something in Marcus's chest tightened. His grandfather's voice echoed in his memory. "Son, there are 2 types of people in this universe, those who stand up and those who stand by." He stood, picked up his beverage container, and walked toward the group. His friend Keiko hissed a warning behind him, but he didn't stop. "Hey," Marcus called out, approaching the Vorgath. "Hold my beer." He thrust his drink toward a confused insectoid student nearby, who instinctively caught it with a chitinous claw. Grask turned, his reptilian features twisting into amusement. "The human? What do you want, mammal? This doesn't concern your kind." Marcus ignored him and crouched beside Zira, meeting her wide, crystalline eyes. "You okay?" he asked softly. She nodded slightly, too terrified to speak. "Here's what's going to happen," Marcus said, standing and positioning himself between Zira and the bullies. "She's going to get a new lunch, sit at a proper table, and eat it in peace. And you 3 are going to apologize." The cafeteria had gone quiet. Students from a dozen species watched with fascination. Humans were unpredictable, everyone knew that, but this seemed like suicide. Grask's laughter boomed. You're going to make us?" He stood at nearly 8 feet tall, his scaled body built for combat. Marcus was 5'10" and looked like he spent more time in libraries than gyms. "If I have to," Marcus said calmly. "Humans," Grask spat. "You've been spacefaring for what, 50 years? We've had star travel for 5,000. You think your primitive species scares us?" Marcus smiled, and something in that expression made Grask hesitate. It wasn't the smile of someone afraid. It was the smile of someone who knew something you didn't. "You know what's funny about humans?" Marcus said conversationally. "We're not the strongest species, not the smartest, not the fastest, but we're the only species that evolved as persistence hunters. You know what that means?" He took a step forward. Grask took a step back. "It means our ancestors would pick an antelope faster, stronger than them, and just follow it for hours, for days, until it collapsed from exhaustion. We didn't quit. We never quit." Marcus's voice dropped lower. "And we're the only species that looked at nature's perfect killing machines, wolves, the apex predators of our world, and said, 'Good boy, you're coming home with me.' We domesticated our predators and made them love us." Another step forward. The 2 other Vorgath shifted uncomfortably. Every species in this academy evolved on a world that made sense, logical ecosystems. Balanced food chains. Earth spent millions of years trying to kill us with ice ages, supervolcanoes, asteroid impacts, plague, and predators. And here we are, still standing, still smiling. Grask's confidence was cracking. "You're insane. Maybe, Marcus agreed. Or maybe we're just really, really bad at knowing when to quit. So here's my offer. Apologize to her or find out exactly how stubborn one human can be. Your choice. For a long moment, nobody moved. Then Grask's neural implant pinged, and his expression changed as he accessed his database. Marcus could see the exact moment he found Earth's history. The wars, the survival, the sheer bloody-minded refusal to ever surrender. This isn't over, Grask muttered, but he was already backing away. His companions followed quickly. Marcus watched them go, then turned to help Zira to her feet. Her antenna had perked up slightly, the violet of her skin returning to its normal hue. Thank you, she whispered in heavily accented standard. But why? You don't know me. Marcus shrugged, retrieving his drink from the bewildered insectoid. Where I come from, we have a saying. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. Besides, he grinned, someone had to show these aliens what humans are really about. As they walked toward the food dispensers together, other students began to move again. Conversations resuming, but something had shifted. Word would spread through the station. There was a new species in the galaxy, and they had very definite opinions about bullies. Zira glanced at Marcus as they waited in line. Your people are brave. Nah, Marcus said, punching in orders for both of them. We're just too dumb to know when we're outmatched. Works out surprisingly well, actually. Behind them, more students approached. A nervous Kryn male, a small Quillen female who'd been sitting alone. They gathered around Marcus and Zira, forming a group. The outcasts, the overlooked, the bullied, and one human who forgot to mind his own business. It was exactly the kind of group that changed galaxies.